Hello, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Sunbreak. Last time we went hunting with the twins, and this time we are moving forward with the Master Ranked key quests. Of course, I already completed one in the meantime, since both of them are kinda redundant with Misutsune and Ratalos, which leaves only Diablos to be done. And of course, when it comes to Diablos, there are only two weapons that come to mind to hunt him with. The bow and the hammer. Which is why I'm bringing right now, the Luna Garon hammer. I really like the appearance it has. And it should make quick work of Diablos. He's not... I personally don't find him particularly hard, since all you have to do is get out of the way before he attacks and you'll be fine. But maybe that's changed now. Maybe that's changed now with the new moves he has in Master Rank. Although I doubt that will be the case, given how little some of these Master Rank monsters have changed. And there he is. Dodge right through it. And get out of the way. Whoops! I brought the wrong silk bind. It's fine. Actually, it's not fine. I will probably die from... Yep. I should keep almost always at full health. And it seems his homing abilities have improved. Come on now, that's not fair. And he's enraged, no longer any use for the sonic bombs. I'm gonna get you! Come on, you dumb thing. Stay still for a second. There we go. Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Weapon! We were off to a bad start, but now things are going our way.
Be quick!
And no, I won't change the silk bind. Might as well work with what we have. Boop. Worth it.
Mr. Monster, be Mr. Weapon! This one's all for you!
Come on, give me that weapon right.
Now it's personal!
This should do it. And here we go.
You do what I say now!
Not worth it going to see other monsters.
Yahoo! This one's all for you!
And that's the second horn. Very easy to break when you're using hammer.
No more holding back!
Oops. And there I go. And enraged once again. Stand right in the middle of him in order to avoid that attack. But it seems that attack can't be avoided by hiding in the middle.
Careful!
And I'll wait a little bit to recover some stamina. And there we go again. Will he do a giant stab? Yep. I wonder, how do you dodge that one? And since that's the brand new move, that's difficult to avoid.
Look out! It's angry!
And the Dalek are trying to kill me. As they do. An extremely annoying small monster.
Excuse me for a moment!
Last minute dodge. Never fails.
That looks like it's gonna hurt!
And when you see Diablos burrowing the ground and going towards you, you want to
After it!
dive away immediately. However, when he goes away, you want to wait a little bit until he comes out of the ground, crashing
Need to
towards
sharpen
you.
this thing.
A very simple reminder to have when avoiding those underground attacks. Ah, come on! How do you dodge that one? I hope I will find out by the end of this hunt.
You're the best, pal.
And there he goes charging again. Whoop. Come on. And this closed off space, it's difficult to dodge some of his attacks. And I get hit anyways. Always that attack. It's getting really annoying. Just hit me. Let me land at least one thing. Let's see if it's not to the side, so yeah, only with only with the dive attack was able to avoid Diablos' new bullshit Horn Slam attack. I don't see really any other way. Damn, they really made Diablos worse, huh? How unfortunate.
Gotta be quick!
Other than that, he's mostly unchanged. I was just a bit rusty at the start, but now I'm getting back into it. Oops, I meant to dodge forward. And he's gonna charge forward, obviously, so move out of the way. And sadly, since he's enraged, I cannot. I cannot Sonic Bomb here off the ground and move out of the way. And no need to dive, thankfully.
Mr. Monster, meet Mr.
Whee! Might as well. What?
This
Looks
one's
like
all for
dodging
you.
forward really is the answer, huh? And while he's coming back up, let's take this opportunity to sharpen up, and there was a trap down there. But I am absolutely not going down, because that is a death trap. Come on, turn around. Right now I'm simply tanking the damage with my face because I want to get hits in.
Look out! It's angry!
I'm tired of him running around from every one of my hits.
This is the end of the line for you!
And there he goes again.
Let's go! Now's my chance!
Please stop moving your head so much.
Careful!
No use going for the attack there, he's going to do that. And aim for my pelican. And that was not aimed at me. And now we wait. Be careful with that tail because that's an active hitbox.
Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Weapon!
And finally he's tired. I was wrong. Diablos really was chained. He seems to move a lot more in Master Rank. Which makes him more annoying since I don't get a lot of openings.
It's trying to get away! Excuse me for a moment!
But that's fine, we're doing well so far. Only a few more hits and he should be ready for capture.
This is the end of the line for you!
Oops, too high. Might as well aim for the legs. And that's my last regular potion.
That looks like it's gonna hurt!
Whee!
I'm gonna kick your butt!
And I flashed him right there in order to keep him in place a little bit longer.
This one's all for you!
I jumped right over that body tackle. Wait a little bit for the stamina. And
Faster, buddy!
okay, there we go.
Putting down a trap! It's sprung the
And
trap!
just in the nick of time, the trap saves me.
Quest complete!
So that was mastering Diablos. Gotta. I actually had to focus a little bit for that one.
Buddy.
Since. Well, the hard part is not avoiding the attacks, it's getting the hits in. And not getting hit afterwards. Need a little bit more practice with the hammer. A lot of it. And I don't really like the new Diablos auto-homing attack horn move, but everything else is just regular Diablos. So perhaps next time it should be bow time.
Let's do our best.
I got it.
Good.
Earring! Are you alright?
I'm okay. The research team has returned. I must go.
Earring!
Hey! Someone get help!
Kirain's unconscious? Bahari, was this due to the wound inflicted by Malseno? Well, not so much the wound itself, it's what is inside. Poison to be specific. If she's not responding to treatment, it's no ordinary poison. Correct. See, the thing is, when I first examined her, there was no sign of it. But when I examined her again later, I found a substance almost identical to the one I extracted from the Curio's fangs. The very same substance that's been making monsters go berserk. This is the root cause of this whole disaster. And that raises a question, doesn't it? You know what I'm talking about, right, Or? Why did I find Curio poison in the wound inflicted by Malseno? The answer is simple. Malseno's body is coursing with Curio juice. Or Curio... or Curio are running Malseno blood. But for some reason, it doesn't turn Malseno crazy, it only makes it stronger. And that just gives the Curio more to feed on. They're parasites, living off Malseno, it's a win-win. In other words, it's a symbiosis, Malseno and the Curio are both using each other. In the monsters we have analyzed up to now, the Curio poison was absorbed in the blood, so it was impossible to detect. Where in a human, it didn't fully mix, so when Anna analyzed Fiorane's wounds, I picked it up, and now we have gotten our answer. The timing of the effect on Fiorane kicking in more or less coincides with that of the monsters that had been bitten. So I am sure of my deduction. The thing that really bothers me is that I didn't notice any of this sooner. Yes, right, unfortunate, as was Fiorane's recklessness. Be that as it may, responsibility ultimate lies with me, for not picking up on this anomaly and letting things get this far. And therein lies the true danger of the Curio. You won't know what hit you until it's too late. Even the monsters that were bitten didn't know what was happening to them until the moment they lost control. Is there anything we can do for Fiorane? There's this Wyverian doctor, Tadori. Years ago when Malseno decimated the kingdom, a terrible plague followed. Dr. Tadori was able to develop a treatment that saved countless lives. Now he mostly spends his time out in the field. And he travels around so much that no one really knows where to find him. However, he has an old friend in Kamura, the merchant Kagero. Maybe Kagero knows where to find Dr. Tadori? And Fiorane's not here. Since she is inflicted with the Curio poison. So let's go to Kagero and see where could that be.
How may I help?
Welcome, Homar. I trust your hunting life is prospering in Elgado.
Oh,
I hear that Rondane's sister, Fjordine, was injured. Perhaps you have paid me a visit to ask me about a certain someone, yes?
oh.
Dr. Tadori is a dear friend of mine. He's one of the few who survived the destruction of my homeland. Since then, we have only spoken through letter. He's never in one place for very long, and is often out procuring herbs for medicine.
Ah,
He had mentioned in a recent letter that he was on his way to the jungle. I think it's safe to assume he's still there.
oh.
Oh, and if you see Tadori, might I ask you to leave her a message for me? Her Highness is living a wonderful and fulfilling life in Kamura. Please visit sometime and try some of her delicious bunny dango. He'll know what this means. Forgive me, but I feel it would be better coming from you rather than a letter. Oh, and by the way, Master Utsushi was just about to depart for Elgado to see you. He had something he wanted to discuss with you. It might be a good idea to drop by and see where it is.
Come back anytime.
Well then, let's see what Utsushi has to say to us in the next episode. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day!